Okay, the next part of the chapter talks about the development of peer relationships and interpersonal understandings. And I highlighted quite a bit in that chapter. There's a lot of good things. For many students, interacting with and gaining the acceptance of peers in some way fitting in are more important than classroom learning and achievement. In fact, students who enjoy a good relationship with their peers at school are more likely to achieve at high levels just because you don't want to look like an idiot in front of your friends. But now there is a fine line because you don't want to seem too smart either. 3 roles of peers in children's development. They provide an arena for learning and practicing a variety of social skills, including cooperation, negotiation, emotional control, and conflict resolution. That happens a lot in the home situation as well, with siblings. But for those who don't have siblings at home, this is a great place. In addition, peers provide companionship, safety, and emotional support. They become a group with whom to eat lunch, a safe haven from playground bullies, and shoulders to cry on in times of trouble or confusion. Many adolescents, especially girls, reveal their innermost thoughts and feelings to their friends. Friends often understand a teenager's perspective, the preoccupation with physical appearance, concerns about the opposite sex, and so on when others are seemingly clueless. Girls, we are definitely talkers and sharers when it comes to all of this. Peers play a third important role in personal and social development as well. They serve as socialization agents that help to mold children's behavior and beliefs. For example, they define options for leisure time, perhaps getting together to study or instead to drink. This says a few beers in the book, but I would like to think that maybe we're getting together and going to a ball game and then maybe going for a milkshake. They serve as role models and provide standards for acceptable behavior, showing what's possible, what's admirable, what's cool, and they sanction one another for stepping beyond acceptable bounds, perhaps through ridicule, gossip, or sarcasm. Such peer pressure has its greatest effects during early adolescence, with teenagers who have weak emotional bonds to their families being especially susceptible. The peer relationships are so important, not only for the student, but for you as the teacher as well, for parents, because if you don't have that bond, students really begin to act out, because the only way they can actually feel like they can make friends is to act out, and that's not what we want to happen, because if anything, that pushes kids farther away. The real scoop on peer pressure. A common misconception is that peer pressure is invariably a bad thing. In fact, it's a mixed bag. It has positives and negatives. Many peers encourage such desirable qualities as working hard in school, treating people kindly, and engaging in community service. Others, however, encourage cutting class, engaging in aggression, consuming alcohol or drugs, or in other ways behaving unproductively. This is a key factor for me as a parent in trying to help my children pick good friends, and I've been so blessed. All 3 kids have grown up having sweet friends, some of them since kindergarten. So there can be positives and negatives. That peer pressure comes into play. Most children acquire a strong set of values and behavioral standards from their families, and they don't necessarily abandon those values and standards in the company of their peers. Furthermore, they tend to choose friends who are similar to themselves in academic achievement, leisure time activities, and long-term goals. And that's a positive. We want our kids to do that. We want them to choose the people, because once again, it holds more accountability for everybody. As teachers, we can help students maintain a good public image in a variety of ways. For instance, we can help them acquire skills for presenting themselves in a favorable light, public speaking techniques, personal hygiene strategies, and so on. We can assign small group projects in which every student has a unique talent to contribute, and when valued classmates ridicule academic achievement, we can allow students to demonstrate their accomplishments privately instead of in front of classmates. We can so help build these relationships by handpicking groups. For instance, last week's group, I randomly chose numbers. You all didn't have a say in that. And we talked about how it made you feel to be the last one chosen in some kind of activity. Well, when you're already starting at the bottom of the barrel, nobody wants you on their team, it appears. Already my self-esteem is low, and my attitude toward the project is going to be little, if any, help. and I'm going to probably cause more problems in that group than I am going to be helpful. So you as a teacher are going to have to help these students look for the things they do well and then put them in a situation to where that positive can be, maybe some students haven't given that child a chance, and once they see some of the things that they can do, all of a sudden it's cool for them to be around, and that changes the whole dynamics within the class. I can vouch for it. It does. There's a little clip there, Pure Relationships video. Take a look at it. Text me about your friends. If you have a friend that you made in kindergarten, if you still have that friend, just text me and tell me that. Friendships are so important for all ages, even my age.